Play.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are tuning in from. We are here for another episode of the 20 Minutes. I apologize, we're going to have to do a very, very quick 10 minutes today for the 20 minutes. Hope you understand for that. For those of you tuning in for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button if you are new. Tell me what you thought about yesterday's action, but there is only one place to start. And that has to be with Sir Andy Murray winning in 5 epic sets. That, though, barely tells the story in all truth, because Andy Murray was a breakdown in the 5th set. He was facing down the barrel. He had Kokkinakis had him on the ropes. Kokkinakis was serving for the match. Could not close it out. We all remember the epic game where Andy Murray is literally just getting his racket on anything that he possibly can. Sometimes the frame, sometimes the strings. It really didn't seem to matter. The ball kept popping up. At one point, one of his defensive, because he's basically just receiving smashes for what feels like an eternity, was actually probably only about 4 or 5. The best of which, obviously, though, lands pretty deep. It's the only one that I think Kokkinakis deals with pretty well. Lets it bounce, does a pretty good smash. However, by the time Kokkinakis eventually receives the ball for the final time, I think he's gassed and he dumps it into the net. That was an epic point, but the match, as I say, truly was an epic. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat on this particular encounter. How will Andy Murray be in terms of the fact he's got to play Roberto Bautista in just a few hours? I haven't seen the schedule yet, but I assume it'll probably be last on. Let's have a quick look at some of the results yesterday and let's discuss them. But like I say, we must start with Andy Murray's 5-set win over Kokkinakis. Just a second. So we do this and then we do this. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. So Andy Murray there winning 4-6, 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 7-5. And I think it finished at around about 4 a.m. local time. Certainly it was gone 4 a.m. in Melbourne. I think it was around about 6 p.m. here. I mean, it was a scarcely believable display to fight back from those 2 sets down to his Australian opponent, who, by the way, a couple of times was starting to get a bit stressed. Let me know what you thought about that. He was getting a bit annoyed with, I'm not sure if he was annoyed with Murray or a few other things. The match in total, by the way, lasted 5 hours and 45 minutes. It started at 20 past 10 local time. Only tennis. And this is something, by the way, that Netflix missed out on. Nevertheless, it was the longest contest in 35-year-old Andy Murray's action-packed career. Now, exhausted, he must go on to face his next opponent, which is Roberto Bautista Agut. Some may call him a nemesis. I mean, they have a fairly good relationship, but they have met, of course, on a few epic occasions. In fact, it was just a few years ago they met for what we thought was Andy Murray's last ever match in the same place in Melbourne. Now, Andy Murray is back for a round 3 encounter with the Spaniard. In fact, his mum, Judy, of course, was in tears in the stadium. With every single set that went by, she seemed to gain a layer. I guess it was getting quite chilly throughout the night there in Melbourne. And in fact, they seem to have had 4 seasons in the last 48 hours. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Ghosty here suggesting that he knew Andy Murray was going to win, knew it from the beginning. Don't listen to anyone who says otherwise. I don't recall you mentioning that, Ghosty, but quite possibly that was your thought process. Anyone else, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, I really think I'm probably not giving this enough justice, this particular match. But listen, we have got to move on to other matches. Please let me know your questions and thoughts in the live chat, and I will address them at the end of the show. Let's have a quick look at some of the other results, though, from yesterday. Beginning with Sabalenka, by the way, winning in straight sets. She is my tip for the tournament. And by the way, thanks, Jane, for the compliment. Sabalenka, they're winning in straight sets, by the way. My tip for the tournament looking very good. Another one of my tips, though, was Leylah Fernandez to go far. I had her to get to the semi-finals. I knew that it was pretty much entirely resting on this match. I felt confident if Fernandez could get through this, she would go through. And by the way, perhaps she should have done. She had chances. She was a break up in the first set, and she had chances in the second set as well. But I just felt in the most important moments, Garcia was ruthless. Fernandez wasn't. And in fact, there was a particular moment when she was, I think she had a 1 or 2 point break advantage in the first set tiebreaker. You can see that she loses at 5-7. I think she was 5-3 up at one point, and there was a very tentative volley that she hits back down the center of the court with Garcia chasing, and Garcia just whips it and passing shot. Leylah will have 1 or 2 regrets. I will too, for picking her to get to the semi-finals. We move on. We'll come back to the men's side shortly. Vondroušová, by the way, knocking out the second seed Ons Jabeur. I'm not surprised. Are you? I always felt that this was going to be a tricky tournament for Jabeur anyway. Then you add in the tricky draw. Then you add in the fact that she's been hampered by an injury. For me, it's no surprise that she went out. And in fact, to be honest with you, I hats off to her for competing as much as she did, because I know she was struggling physically. Arguably, the shock of the day, certainly on the women's side, was Voljet's beating Kudermetova in 3 sets. Kudermetova, of course, was our Jack of this parish. He had her getting to the final. Uh-oh, not happening now. Lynette, by the way, there were some pretty epic matches. I feel as though the second round, or I should say days 3 and 4, the tournament has taken off. I felt as though the first round on days 1 and 2 was pretty flat, but yesterday it took off. And on any other normal day, but yesterday was not a normal day. Any other normal day, this Lynette Kontaveit match would arguably be grabbing the headlines, with the number 16 seed going out in 3 sets. We'll be back on the men's side very shortly. Bencic cruising through. Alexandrova not cruising through, but she is through all the same. Okay, let's have a look at some of the men's results. We can see there Andrei Rublev going through in 4 sets, but this was a pretty epic match as well. An emotional Alexei Popyrin knocking out Taylor Fritz to progress to the next round. Congratulations to the wild card from Australia. It meant a lot to him, you could tell. He's obviously missed quite a bit of tennis of late. Taylor Fritz, though, again, 2 Grand Slams now in a row where a lot of expectations were on him, and it's 2 Grand Slams in a row where he's gone out in the first 2 rounds. De Minaur beats overcame Mannarino in 4 sets. That's a good win for De Minaur, because I think Mannarino is fairly solid and can be expected to go far. There's that epic between Murray and Kokkinakis we spoke about. Alex Zverev, again, on any other normal day, that would be shocking news and we would have it there. The lucky loser, Mo, into the 3rd round. As we also mentioned on the live stream, he just cracked into the top 100 for 1 week at some point in his career. And I think now he will be safely back into the top 100. Novak Djokovic, are we concerned about his hamstring? He overcame Coco in 4 sets. 4 tricky sets, or certainly the first 2 sets look like that. But probably the biggest concern for Djokovic, especially regarding his press conference comments afterwards, is the hamstring. Casper Ruud out 4 sets. Jenson Brooksby did amazingly well. He had match points, serving for the match in the 3rd set. We saw Casper Ruud celebrate as though he just won the World Cup, European Championship, Champions League, FA Cup and Premier League all in one go, as he celebrated getting back into the match at that point. He then goes on to win the tiebreak. Hardly a surprise. Jenson Brooksby then takes 10 minutes off court, recuperates, and recuperate he did to win in 4 sets. Okay, let's go to the live chat, because I have got to bring this show to an end before I can prepare for this evening. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get in the comment section below if you're watching this video retrospectively. Also, if you want, you are welcome to give us a super chat, and I'll try and address your concerns. Thank you, Jane, as well. Very kind words. The Kokkinakis-Murray match was indeed truly awesome. PCB, yeah, he's out. Sniff. By the way, there was also, of course, Davidovich Fokina going out in 5 sets. As I also mentioned on the live stream, did Fokina fall today? Yes, he did. And not only did he fall, he fell out. No, he fell into the next round. What am I saying? Knocking out Tommy Paul in... No. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Tommy Paul won in 5 sets against Davidovich Fokina. He goes through. Round 2 was emotional. So has today been. Here are some of the results in a nutshell from yesterday. I'm going to leave you with this little clip, but it does miss out on arguably the highlight of the day, which of course was Sir Andy Murray going through to the next round. Everyone, thanks for stopping by, and try and subscribe because we're going to be with you live in less than an hour as we take you through the next day's action, day 5 as it is down under. Take care, everyone. Take care.